Okay. Hello everybody. Okay, let's continue. This is too good of a game. Or novel, I guess you can say. I'm very disappointed about Kirby.
田中さんは物量作戦で行こうと、そういうことなんですよ。
Actually, one sec. Okay, I'm back. Just adjusted a few things. Anyway.
さあ、私たちがいっぺんに押しかければ、鬼は手も足も出ないはず。
誰かが見つかったとしても、すぐに別の誰かが缶を蹴ってしまうわけですね。その人が見つかっても、すぐにまた別の誰かが缶を蹴る。
そうやって一斉に集中砲火を浴びせれば、鬼は攻撃を防ぎきれ。なるほど。
なるほど。
ってことで、総員、一旦3回した後、会議室の缶めがけて突撃。缶を蹴ったらすぐに離脱。そのヒット&ウェイの繰り。
But isn't that kind of cheating?
そんなことないって。物量作戦は傭兵の基本。
So it's kind of like violence by the masses?
民主主義作戦って言って。
Whatever.
民主主義。つまり、
Okay. So we separated and all aimed for the conference room via different routes. But our footsteps were sure loud. Still, if we didn't hurry, Takeshi would find us. I just hope that someone would get there and kick the can before he found it. Oops! Suddenly Takeshi's voice rang out behind me. I was so concerned with the sound of my own footsteps that I didn't hear him approach. At this distance, there was no way I could get away. I gave up. Oh no, you caught me. Am I the first one? Dang. That means if you catch everyone, then I'm it next.
多分そういうことになるな。
I wonder if someone will show up to help me. Takeshi, if you don't go step on the can, then I'll go kick it.
お前って、缶蹴りのルールはちゃんと知ってるんだな。
Crash! Splash! Suddenly, you came flying from the side and completely sideswiped Takeshi with a jumping cross chop to the net. Takeshi's head had gone underwater. You was pointing at the submerged Takeshi and crackling crazily. Takeshi, floundering in water, stood up.
お前だ
この勝負もらった
ふざけんな、待ちやがれ
待てと言われて待てますかって
おのれ突き飛ばされた恨み、腹さで置くべきか
Takeshi took off in a mad dash after you. Well, I guess I better go kick the can. I strolled leisurely to the conference room. When I entered the room,
少年見っけ、カンフンだ
Takeshi pointed at me, declaring this. He was stepping on the can. You was near him and looked depressed. It looked like she had lost. Oh no.
甘いぞユウ、俺を出し抜くことはできん。
ずるいクラナリ、缶の場所変えたでしょ
どこに置けとは言ってなかったろうが、そっちもいきなりチョップかましたりしたんだ。お互い様だろ。
はいはい。それにしても何？
おう、そうだぞ。
作戦失敗か。
は
As they were talking, the sound of splashing footsteps could be heard approaching the door.
ただいま社長
What kind of sound was that?
空と空見っけ。
Takeshi stepped on the can.
あら、田中さん、先に着いてしまわれてたんですか？
ちょっと予定ずれちゃったね。ナッケ先輩が出ていくの、ちょっと早かったんじゃないですか？
You said we would all charge together.
作戦ってそれかよ。
みんなで同時に缶に飛びかかれば防げないかなと。
はあ、せこいこと考えるやっちゃな。
えへへへへ。
You laughed mysteriously with a hint of embarrassment. We gathered in the center of the room.
さてと、意外に簡単。まず、今みたいに結託して缶蹴りに。
なんでよ。
俺はともかく、お前は防げるのか？
無理っす。
だからだ。大体面白くない。鬼がタイミングを見計らって人を探しに行ったり、その隙をついて
へーい、
You reluctantly agreed to be it the next
みんなもそれでいいな。
Sora, Sara, and I, everyone nodded.
よーし。では次は空き缶はあっちにあるから自分で拾え。好きなとこに置いて数を数えて。
Clatter, clatter. The sound of a can being kicked rang out.
おい、誰だよ蹴ったの。
私じゃないよ。
As soon as she caught this from right out of their mouth, you started to run away.
あ、こら、てめえ。
We all scattered like scared butterflies.
なんだか知らないけどラッキー。
You said this as she asked.
間一髪でしたね。
But who kicked the can? All four of us had been found by Takeshi. The rules were that anyone caught couldn't kick the can.
私でもないし、先輩でもない。
I didn't kick it.
小松さんではないでしょうか。
つぐみが？まさか。でも、それしか考えられないよね。
I wonder if tsugumi wanted to play the whole
きっ
time.
と照れていたのでしょう。
And I could have put a new, almost adorable twist on her personality.
あったらお礼言わないとね。
And Sara laughed happily as she said this.
さて、ここで解散しよっか。
You proposed this as we reached a T in the corridor.
そうでござるな。では、ご分を。
また後で会いましょうね。
You went left and Sara and Sora went to the right. Oh, okay. I'll go with you. Because he was nice.
あれ？少年もこっち来たの？
Yeah, but where do you plan to hide?
それを今考えてるところ。
You kept running.
さてと、どうしようかな。
As we scanned the area for trouble, we looked for a hiding
意
place.
外な場所に隠れないとすぐに見つかっちゃうしな。
Well, let's go in the room for now. As I sat down, I heard something. Somebody is coming.
マヨたちじゃないの？
Probably. We peered through the darkness in the direction of the sound. We could see someone's silhouette. That Bill could only be... No, it's Takeshi!
本当？
Hurry, we gotta hide! We dove into the nearest room. It was the elevator hall. What are we gonna do? There's no one to hide. Takeshi steadily approached.
そうだ、あの中に隠れるわよ。
Huh? Where? Yu's finger was pointing at the elevator that was stuck on its way this way stop. It was the one that Sara had been stuck in the day before. The door was still open. First, Yu lifted me on her shoulders and I hurried into the elevator. Then I pulled her up. So we were able to hide just an instant before Takeshi came. We held our breath watching silence. No emergency light even lit the elevator. Just profound darkness and silence. I could hear you crouch next to me breathing. I thought I could almost hear my beat, my heart. I hope he doesn't find us.
来たみたいよ。
Takeshi appeared at the bottom of the stairs. It seemed that he hadn't pinned down our position. He was still glancing around. My heart rate rocketed, pounded in my ears. I put my hand on my chest as if to hold it in check. Oh, please don't let him find us. Takeshi just stood there. It was as if he was sure that we were
あ
around.
れ、変だな。こっちの方で足音がしたはずなんだが、気のせいだったのか。
It looked like he had finally given up. Whew. Just as I thought the crisis had passed. A sneeze welled up inside me. Why now? I clamped my hand on my mouth as I desperately tried to hold it back. Somehow I had managed to keep it in. Why you?
おい、そこにいるな。誰だ？
見つかった。逃げるわよ。
Yeah, but where could we run?
平気。私に任せて。
Where could we run? No problem. Leave it to me. The next instant, you threw yourself out of the elevator. You made a spectacular dive, turning it into a stunning dropkick. Oh, why are you so mean to Takeshi? fought well, but Takeshi found us. Can stomp. A short while later, he found Sara and Sora too. We met in the conference room.
よーし。あとはつぐみだけだな。
Takeshi stepped on the can, looking satisfied.
にしても、変なんだよな。
Weird. What is?
さっき蹴られた缶なんだけど、缶はそのままだったんだよ。
はあ？言ってること意味不明だよ。
だから、蹴られたはずの缶が、こうやって。
Takeshi said this as he squished the can some more.
まるで、誰も蹴ってなかったみたいに。
Maybe it was something different.
蹴られた缶が転がって、そのまま浮き上がったのではないでしょうか。
最初に置いてあった位置にか？
それは、変ですね。
そんなことよりも、早くつぐみを探しに。そうそう。負け惜しみはそのくらいにしなさいよ。
今負けてんのはお前らの方だろうが。
はいはい、そうでした。そうでございましたよ。もう分かったから、さっさと探してきなさいって。
You and Sara waved Takeshi away.
たく、なんて偉そうな。全然か。
Takeshi left the room grumbling. Soon after that, kabing, clatter, clatter, clatter. The sound of a can being kicked ran on in the darkness. What was that?
なんだかよくわかんないけど。チャンス。
いいのでしょうか。
I wonder if it's okay. In the confusion, we made our third escape.
おい！見つかった奴が蹴ったらルール違反だろうが！
We heard Takeshi shouting soon after. Of course, neither I, you, Sara, nor Sora, none of us had kicked the can. Oh, that had to be Tsugumi again. She probably sneaked in the room without anybody noticing. Knows what we thought. Ultimately, Takeshi soon caught us again. He howled that we had cheated and started out to find us right away, so we didn't get far. Takeshi checked to make sure everyone was there and stepped on the can, even once for Tsugumi. Next time, nobody kicked the can.
今度は少年が鬼だからな。
Alright, so I counted 100, right? I took the can and sat in the chair with my face down. Alright, here I go. 1, 2, 3. They left the conference room fleeing around the floor. 100. I opened my eyes. I set the empty can by my feet. It was as far from the entrance as I could get it. Scanning the dark around me, I didn't see anyone. Well, I guess I'll be looking. I decided to head off to check some rooms. The kiosk. The chicken sandwich shop. There was no sign of anyone there. Just in case, I peeked inside. Of course, there was no one there. This place was a waste of time. I decided to go somewhere else. I wonder where they hid. The Murian Ruins. The Murian Ruins. This jacket was designed with the motive of a lost continent believed to have sunk to the ocean floor ages ago. Standing there in the darkness is that eerie setting. It almost made me imagine that I sunk to the bottom of the ocean. No, that was only half scrunch. Huh? It sounded like a footstep. Is someone there? I wonder if it were my imagination. It wasn't. In the darkness, in the building, in front of me was the dim outline of a person. But in that light and at that distance, I couldn't be sure who it was. It was like the person was holding their breath, waiting for me not to notice. But he or she looked like she was ready to dash off in an instant. I thought that if I bumbled closer, the person would run away. I had to figure out who it was from afar. It had to be you. I found you. Yeah, I guessed it was you too. As if I had given up, the silhouette started toward me. Bingo! It looked like my hunch had paid off. Yeah, I had a feeling it was you too. I selected from the conference room. Nobody would hide here. I returned to the conference room. There was no sign of anyone there. The can stood silent where I left. Just in case, I left in the corners of the room. Of course, no one was there. This place was a waste of time. I decided to go elsewhere. I wonder where they hid. Central control room. We headed to the central control room. We? Oh, I didn't think there was anywhere there for anyone to hide. Oh, the room was set up with the center surrounded by a giant monitor and console. There was Tsugumi. She sat slowing in her chair, staring blankly at the monitor. Tsugumi, I caught you. On my declaration, Tsugumi looked at me like I was a fly in her suit.
あのね。
And she glared at me.
私は参加なんてしていな。
Come on, you already kicked the can twice. Guess she might have fallen for it, but not me. stepped on the can just to be safe. I selected from the... I wonder what Tsugumi is doing anyway. The elevator. There was no sign of anyone. Just to be safe, I checked inside the elevator that you and I hid inside. Of course, there was no one inside. This place was a waste of time. And... rest area. I made for the rest area. At first, it looked like there was no one there either. Odd. And I noticed something. One of the stone pillar silhouettes in the open area was an odd shape. No, it was the top of the pillar that had something strange about it. I edged closer. There was definitely something there. Error where I was. I couldn't tell exactly what that something was, but it was definitely a person. Maybe they thought they were acting like a koala. What did they intend to do if they fell? I mean, can you really call that hiding? I called out to that clinging something. Isn't that tiring? It sure looks dangerous. It's Takeshi. But you sure have got a lot of guts. You're tougher than I thought, Takeshi. Takeshi slid down the column. The only person to do enough to hide there was Takeshi. I gotcha! I stepped on the can. Only Sara and Sora remained. I walked around Dritstall looking for the two of them. I heard footsteps in the direction of the conference room. I was sure it was Sara. Gosh, I hope she isn't planning to kick the can. Ooh, some new music. I made a mad dash for the conference room. At the entrance to the room, the two of them were just at the door, Sara and Sora. I sprinted into the room on their heels. I gotcha, Sara and Sora! Patter, patter, patter. But Sara just ignored me and kept running. Her eyes were on the can. It was as if she knew where the can was. Damn, I thought I changed the location of the can. I also ran toward the can. Patter, patter, patter. Would she kick the can first, or would I step on it first? Damn! Two of us tumbled to the floor. Ouch. Oh. The next thing I noticed, I was on top of Sara. Sara's eyes were open, staring at me. I barely managed to support my body with my arms so that I didn't come in contact with her, but her face was closer to me than I ever imagined. I felt like I might be sucked into her eyes and was captivated by her cute nose, slightly open lips, and glimpse of her tongue. That's quite descriptive. I felt her breath on my face. She had been running until that time, and I felt the heart rising in her skin. I could smell the sweat. The smell of our sweat mixed together. I felt the warmth of her body against me. It was hard to breathe, and my mind started to go blank. My whole body stiffened, and I couldn't move. It was as if our bodies were paralyzed as we lay there, staring at each other. Sara slowly raised up her cheek. Oh, danger, she's mad. This was not what I should have been worrying about. The can, where was the can? I turned my neck searching for the can. There it was. I jumped off of Sara, pointing to her, and declared loudly, Sara and Sora, I gotcha. And I stepped on the can triumphantly. This was the last stepping on the can.
それにしても瞬殺だったな。
倉成さんの半分
俺が鬼ん時は反則が多すぎたんだっつーの。
でもこんなに暗いのにドンピシャで名前当てまくる。
Everyone crowded around me and started making a fuss.
マヨは知らないのか。
As you placed her hand on my head, she explained about how I had caught her into
おい、つぐみ。いい加減白状したらどうだ？
At some point, Tsugumi had returned to the conference room. Tsugumi sat in the chair, pretending to be asleep, and ignored Takeshi. I felt someone watching me and turned around. Sara was looking at me strangely. I thought she might be angry again. It was just an accident. I avoided her look uncomfortably. That was the end of the kick the can. Then there remained a mystery who kicked the can those times. We passed the rest of the night on the bench fully. It was a peaceful time, and I decided to enjoy satisfying rest. May 3rd, Wednesday. I scooped up water with my both hands and splashed it on my face. The incident made contact and went a sharp shock to my brain. Yeah! I snapped open my eyes, completely awake. I thought I had probably repeated this ritual several thousands of times. It was my way of refreshing myself in the morning. I lifted my face and wiped it with a towel. A smooth white counter, a sink, and a finely cracked mirror. I stared foggily at my reflection in the mirror. I passed Takeshi as I was returning to the corridor. Hey.
おはよう、少年。
Hey, don't look so depressed,
そんな
Takeshi.
ことはねえよ。まだ眠いだけだ。
Well, a lot's happened in the last couple of days. Are you tired?
大丈夫だって。ちょっと眠気覚ましてくる。じゃあな。
Saying that, he headed off to the bathroom. Sara and you were waiting in the conference room. Just wait a second. Okay, I'm back.
おはよー。おはよー。
The two of them seemed wired. Morning.
なんだ少年。元気ないぞ。
No, I'm awake.
本当に？あ、わかった。少年って低血圧なんでしょ。
I don't know about that. Sara sure didn't seem to have a problem with mornings. I was just glad that Sara appeared to be in a good mood.
わかる。朝は辛いよね。なんていうか、迷って寝起きがすっこぶる悪いよね。でも、先輩の反撃の方がこれよさないか。子供のいる前で。
I was getting a headache. Maybe it was low blood pressure that made me not a morning person. Finally, when Takeshi came back, conversation turned to breakfast.
つぐみと空がいないみたいだけど。
そうだね。でも、きっとそのうち
まあ、あの二人なら、そうだな。
We all made our way to the kiosk.
みんな、ホットドッグでいいよな。
ホットドッグ？ここにホットドッグなんかあっ
冷蔵庫の奥に少しだけあったんだ。隠しメニュー。
With that, Takeshi disappeared inside the kiosk. It looked like Takeshi would be chef for another day, but
あれ
Takeshi had let a surprise help from inside. Looking into the shop, there was Takeshi frozen and gone in the freezer with the door open. What's wrong?
どうしたもこうしたもあるか。ない
ない？何が？
材料だよ。ホットドッグの材料。ここに入っ。
最初からなかったんじゃないの？
いや、夕べまでは確かにあったんだって。晩飯作ってた時に見つけたんだからな。
You think they were stolen?
誰に？
I don't know.
畜生。一体誰だよ。
Takeshi slammed the door violently shut.
まあ、別に食料が底をついたわけでもない。そんなことより早くご飯にしようよ。私もうお腹ペコペコだよ。私も。
You and I were of the same opinion. We weren't expecting hot dogs to begin with, and I was hungry. Takeshi still looked peeved. Maybe it was because he was hungry too. First thing we had to do was fill our stomachs. In the end, we gave up on hot dogs and went with our standby menu, chicken sandwiches for breakfast. When everyone had Takeshi-made sandwich in hand, we sat down for a lively and fun breakfast together. You and Sara were especially boasters. Takeshi said that the two of them easily made as much noise as 3 more people, but that was just Takeshi being himself. The two of them never seemed to run out of things to talk about and kept jabbering away cheerfully about the most meaningless things.
ねえ先輩、覚えてます？うちの学校、小西？ああ、コニーのことね。そう、そのコニー。まだいるんだ。あの先生も、そのコニーがね、ついにこの、そうなの？ええ。私が学校にいた時は、クローンで蘇らせたりとか、結局、そのクローンも病気にかかって死んじゃう。そっかー、あのコニーがね。今の電子犬と、そういえば、先輩の家にもいましたよね。うん、いるよ。本当はお母さんが飼ってる、ずいぶん古いタイプらしいんだけど、壊れることもなく元気にしてるよ。考えてみれば、マヨはうちに遊びに来たことなかったよね。今度はい。こら、遠慮。ええ、もち。
なあ、ところでよ。
Just then, Takeshi jumped into the conversation.
何？
二人とも仲いいみたいだけど、どういった関係？
あれ？言ってなかった。
Takeshi shook his head as he gulped down cola. You and Sara are from the same school. You graduated already. I think she said she was at Kimmy-kin Girls High School until this last March. I answered for them, but you're not. When you was a senior, Sarah entered the school as a scholarship student. You added scholarship student. I never heard that word before.
ひょっとして、裏口入学って
何でもかんでも自分と一緒にしな。
ちげえよ。俺はそんなせこい真似してないって。
私、もともと家庭の事情で高校に進学する。でも、父が懇意にしている救命館の学長が相談に乗ってくれて。
要するに、その才能を
It sounded like Sara was a bit of a protege and sort of famous.
おー。
Sarah's amazing. Listening to information from the day before about Sarah's computer skills made me think that she might be on a different level than the rest of us.
別に、大したことないよ、そんなの。
Sarah looked bored as she said it. Maybe it was no big deal for her.
でもよ、学校は同じって言っても、学年は違うわけだろ？ってことは、クラブか何かで一緒だったとか？
そうだよ。
私と先輩は、新入生のクラブ会員をきっかけに知り合ったの。
And after eating the sandwiches, Sara held a pop can with both hands and gazed at the ceiling with a distant look in her eyes.
あれは、今から1年、私が、救命艦女子。
It was a sunny spring afternoon after class. A light wind made the cherry blossoms dance in the schoolyard as the dust gently tickled my nose. There were groups of new students walking packaged in starched new school uniforms, an expression full of nervousness and expectations. There were senior students eagerly calling out to them to join the class. It was probably a scene played out on most schools' campuses. As I let my imagination run wild, I was looking around the campus trying to get a feel for my new surroundings. All of a sudden, from among a din of voices and activities, someone called out to me.
Hey! そこのカーのぞ!
I stopped. Looking in the direction of the voice was a girl student. Her face one big smile. From the ribbon on her uniform, it was clear she was a senior. Her hair was cut short enough that it just hit her behind the ears. It also made her look like a go-getter. When I pointed at myself to see if she meant me, she nodded, smiling.
そうそう、君のこと。
The smiling girl approached me.
今暇だよね。よかったら、ちょっちゃ、大丈夫。
And what was it with this person? I wondered if she was trying to pick me up or had a bad feeling about the situation. Seeing my skeptical face, the girl with the blonde haircut tried to explain herself.
違う。決していかがわしく、君も、私たちのクラブに入部して。
So that was it. I wonder how many people had asked me the same question. I was pretty sick of the whole thing.
結構です。間に合ってますから。
ひょっとして。
いいえ。
だったら。
いえ、私。
もう、そんなこと言わずに。
遠慮しておきます。
ほれほれ、そう思いつつも、どんな。
ちっとも興味あり。いい
から、取って食われる。
ですから。
すべて、黙ってついてきやがれ。
I'm pretty sure that's you. So that persistent senior dragged me to the club room half by force. So you was that girl?
いかにも。
お前って、今も昔もちっとも変わってねえな。
実際はね、あの時は必死だったんだから。
Well, why were you so eager to get Sara to join?
それは、部にとっては死活問題だったからよ。存亡の危機に瀕してたの。
要するに、部員不足で廃部寸前だったわけでござる。
ああ、なるほどね。
何しろ、ナッキュ先輩を入れてたった。
そりゃひでえな。
私はその年で卒業だったから、新入部員が入らなきゃ、自分たちの苦労して築き上げてきたクラブがなくなっちゃう。
まあ、それはわからないよ。
ということで、部の存在。
So exactly what kind of club was it?
それはもう健全で、かつ上層教育にもやっ。
おお。
Takashi took a swig of his
で
cola.
具体的な。
ハッキング。
アホか。ハッキングのどこが健全だっつうんじゃい。
なんでよ。
犯罪だろうが、それは。
アホはあんたの方でしょ。ハッキングは別に。
あ、そうな。
Takashi looked at me. His eyes said, what the heck is she talking about? I'll say I get it. Oh well, I figured that I had to explain it. Takeshi, listen. Originally, hacking as a word meant the rhythmical manipulation of a computer. People that could do this were called hackers. That evolved into the word hacker for technicians and research computer experts. Probably what you're thinking about is that hacking we talk about in the news, being crime committed using a computer. Like when somebody steals secret information and destroys data via computer. But that's a mistake. That kind of thing is called cracking. It's completely different. And the people that do this are known as crackers. You need to make a distinction between them. What's the matter?
ねえ、少年って。
本当に記憶喪失か？
とにかく分かった？要するにハッキングと犯罪は正しい意味では何の関連性もないの。あれはコンピューター技術の向上も。
へいへい、俺が悪うございました。
I'm just surprised that you was involved in the indoor club.
ああ、私ね、掛け持ちしてたの。他にも。
Wow, I see.
それで結局、サラは
そこでおとなしく入部しないところが、マヨ。
That ambiguous comment, you got a distant look in her eyes, so to speak.
あの日、マヨを部室までつっても。
Slide.
さあどうぞ。ここが。どうしたの？変力。
本当に狭いですね。
まあね。
それに、ものすごく物が多い。
まあね。
要するに、入れないって。
まあね。
Like always, that little one-room clubroom was so cluttered there was nowhere to even walk. Several computers and steel rack covered the three walls, and the floor was covered in a tangle of cables. What open space there was, I asked him. A stuffed animal bumblebee, a button with a picture of a nuclear missile blasting off, and an unidentified object X and other stuff were scattered around, almost completely covering the floor. If Maya had been a clean freak, we would have lost her right there.
あれ、ナキ先輩。
The girl stood from in front of the computer, her chair nearly buried. She was the head of the club. She always wore glasses with black frames and kept her hair in figure. Her name was, I forgot.
そうだよ。これでなんとか。廃部だけは免れたね。
Maybe it's someone from, Never 7. I heard that this references Never 7. I've never played Never 7. It might be a character from Never 7, I don't know. That's right, we just barely avoided having our club full. So as I answered her, I hopped from one open inch of the floor space to the next and into the room.
私まだ入部するとは。
Sarah was still contemplating how best to enter the
と
room.
ころで、相方は？
今日は風邪で欠席っす。
あ、そう。
こんなところに長い時間いたら、具合が悪くなって当然。
Sarah gingerly entered the room as if searching for one foothold and then another. Every step she took, her footsteps were punctuated with punching notes, as something were breaking. Of course, we didn't pay any attention to it.
それじゃあ、早速実地体験といきますか。
I unearthed a chair from the pile of junk and gestured to Sarah to sit.
私、部屋を見に来ただけですか。
まあまあいいから、騙されたと思って触ってみ。
その前に、一つ聞いてもいい？
なんなりと。
このクラブ、
ハッキング同好会。
でもその割に、画面に映ってるの。
そこなんだな。
Of course, I did not it seriously several times.
実はハッキングとは名ばかりで、現役の部員には、
できる人はみんな卒業しちゃってね。
まあ、ゲームとはいえ、コンピューターの。
今のうちに言っておきますけど。ですから。
また、何、部の存続の危機なんだから、メリットこそあれど。
これ、触ってもいいんですか？
Sarah pointed at the keyboard.
あ、どうぞどうぞ。
そう、結構です。わかりますから。
She sat on the chair, took the mouse and stared at them all. She opened several files, finding the one she was looking for. She opened it up and started editing it. She didn't even glance at the keyboard. She just tapped non-stop. The speed of her touch typing was incredible.
すごい。
When she had finished typing, Sarah opened a different piece of software and started typing in commands. The hard disk roared to life. Finally, sounding the face of a bumblebee appeared on all of the monitors in the room. The face stared at us and winked, then all the faces stuck up its tongues.
何これ？このパソコン、操作を受け付けない？
The next instant, snap! All of the computers suddenly shut down at once. The two of us stood there stunned. Finished, Sarah stood up and
わかったでしょ？私に関わると、ろくなことがないの。だから。
And then she laughed.
あれ、
どうしたの？
パソコンが、
電源のコードが抜けちゃったんじゃないの？
そういうんじゃなくて、電源が入ってるの。
She meant that the software had been destroyed, and the problem wasn't limited to just one machine. All of the computers in the room that were connected to the network were in the same state.
まさか、あの短時間で、ここ。
Looking down, there was a stuffed animal bumblebee glaring up nastily.
マジっすか？
マジよ。
たく、とんでもねえ女だな。
だって、あの時の先輩とんでもなくしつこかったから。
だからってよ。
So Sara didn't join? What? Then that would mean that...
逆よ、その逆。入部しなかったなんて言ってな。その後先輩ったら、毎日のように
Even though she did that to your computer.
されたから、よ。
Basically, you had been taken by Sarah's genius. But her genius for programming. By her genius for programming. Day after day, her fixation drove her to call on Sara. Finally, Sara was overwhelmed by Yu's enthusiasm and joined the club.
こうして、私とマヨの付き合いは、にんともかんとも。
With that long story finally over, I'm actually glad we all strived.
さて、食事も済んだことだし、会議室。
Sure. Tsugumi hadn't eaten, but there was no point in waiting around for her. We took her sandwich back to his conference room.
私はちょっとの間。
どっか行く？
ちょっとね。こらこら、女の子のプライベートに首を
You showed the private.
先輩、私は悪いんだけど。はーい。ごめんね。
You shot the dejected Sarah smile as she headed quickly toward the door.
おーい、どこ行っても構わねえけど、何かあったら。
You shot Takeshi a thumbs up on the way out the door. She was on the way to the conference room. Ah! I looked up at the ceiling. What's that? I thought I had seen something for a second, but when I had done a double take, I didn't see anything.
おい、どうしたんだ？
Even with Takeshi calling out to me, I couldn't tear my eyes from the ceiling. I wonder. I don't know what it was, but I swear I saw something.
見た？何を見た？
Well, I didn't really see it. I just had a bad feeling about the second floor somewhere.
何言ってるんだよ、お前。
I think we should check that floor one more time. Saying that, Takeshi slapped me on the shoulder. Suddenly I came back to myself.
あんま気にすんなよ。何かあれば、空が。
Yeah, you're right. But still.
お前も疲れ、溜まってるみたいだな。
Yeah. I wonder if that was really all it was. I tried to remember what I had seen while I was walking, but it was like waking up after a dream and having the dream slip away. I couldn't remember it. Then we returned to the conference and Tsugumi was there. And to our surprise, she was eating. Oh! The reason we were all so surprised was because Tsugumi was eating hot dog. Oh!
何？
貴様か！
何を怒っているの？
Tsugumi was indifferent. That just served to fuel Takeshi's fury.
タツタさんとばかりじゃうんざりだろうっていう俺の思いやりよ。
Just calm down. Try to calm him down. Tsugumi just continued to munch on her hot dog without me.
でもさすがに独り占めはずるいと思う。
そうだそうだ。今にクジラみたいに太ってマリアナ海溝に沈んでいく羽目になるぞ。おい。
独り占め？
Tsugumi polished off the last bite and turned to face Takeshi as she wiped her hair.
何を言っているのか意味不明ね。
なんだと？材料は確かに人数分あったはずだ。だけど今は一つ残らず消え失せてる。つまりは
さあね、数なんて覚えてネズミにでもやられたんじゃない？
ごまかすんじゃねえよ。そのネズミって。
Takeshi's fury only grew while Tsugumi stayed calm. She brushed away the hair from her forehead and stood up quietly.
もう一度聞くけど、何を怒っている？
言ったろ。みんなの分まで
私も言ったはずよ。それに。
Tsugumi glared at Takeshi.
あなたが怒っている本当の理由は、あなたの予定が狂ったことに対して。
Schedule.
お、そうだとも。本来ならばみんなにご馳走する。
Tsugumi stared unflinchingly at Takeshi. The two glared at each other. Sara and I were in no position to step in between the two. All we could do was watch to see what happened. It was then that... Finally! Crap gets serious. Suddenly, a low metallic sound reverberated through the installation. It was a dull, muffled sound.
なんだ
少し、揺れたわね。
Two turned their attention to the new situation, forgetting their fight.
なあ少年、今のは
I don't know.
まさか、さっきの嫌な予感とやらが関係してるのか
That would be cool. I shook my head. I don't know. Maybe we should ask Sora.
呼びましたか？
ソラ、
おう、ソラどこ行ってたんだ
申し訳ありません。
How can
寝
the
坊して
AI
しまいまし
oversleep?
た。
Sora looked embarrassed.
寝坊ってお前、いや、それはひとまず置いといて。
Hey, did something just happen? There was an awful noise just now.
フロアを支えるシャフトの一部に歪みが発生しました。
You didn't see any signs of it yesterday?
はい。事前の計算にはありません。海流の乱れ、
どのくらいやばいんだ
誤差の範囲内だと思いますが。いえ、ツバイトシュトックの倉庫。圧力制御用の配管に異常があります。
圧力制御用の配管って
レミューを覆っている多重隔壁。その内地これが異常は軽微ですから緊急は要しませんが、倉庫の状況を確認いただいた方が。
ああ、任せてくれ。
Takeshi nodded right
しょう
away.
がないわね。
What? I couldn't quite make out what Tsugumi had said then.
私も行くわ。
She unexpectedly volunteered for the task.
つぐみ
何？私がついていくの
いや、そういうわけじゃねえけど。
誤解しないで。事態が事態だけに一時休戦ってことよ。修理するなら工具類が必要なんじゃないの？私なら色々扱い方を知って。
そうだな。わかった。頼む。
私も手伝うよ。
オッケー。じゃあ、あれ、そういえば、ユウはどうしたんだ
I wonder if she didn't notice the shaking just now.
いえ、そんなはずはないと思うのです。
Do you know where she is?
申し訳ありません。あいにくと現在、センサーの一部に支障。
I wonder what happened to you.
ねえ少年、先輩を探しに。
Huh? Me?
うん。ちょっと
I was also worried about Sara and everyone going off suddenly like that. An extra set of hands couldn't hurt. Takeshi, I'll go have a look around for you.
よし、それじゃあ少年、任せた。
何か分かったら、レミを通じ。
Alright, see you later. I ran through the corridor, kicking up spray as I went. You! Hey, you! It was strange. I thought that maybe she wasn't on that floor. Just then Sora's voice came to me from the voice converter.
少年さん、私です。空です。田中さんの居場所が分かりました。もちろん。
Huh? Where is she?
ツバイトシュトックの警備室です。
Security office? Why is she there
そこ
then?
までは分かりません。田中さんの
I got it. Well, I'll go to the warehouse as well then.
いいえ、それに
Why not?
調べたところ、幸いにして被害は大したことなかったの。
Sora added there were enough people. Okay.
それよりも、田中さんのところへ向かっている。
To where you is?
はい。
Ooh,
ちょっと様子が
strange.
断定はできないのですが、ですから、
Wouldn't it be better if you went instead of me? If something were strange, I didn't know what I could do.
申し訳ありません。あいにくと、私はこれから、
Control room? Is something else
そ
wrong?
れは、いえ、ちょっとした
I see.
大変お手数なのですが、
Sure, I don't have anything better to do. I'll have to check on you, the security office, right?
はい。
I climbed to the second floor via the emergency stairs. I called to you via the intercom on the side of the security office. You, it's me, can I come in?
そうね。
After I bit the door open.
どうしたの？なんでここに？
He wasn't able to hide her surprise. Sora was right. Strange might have been the word for it. Sora told me to come.
空に？
Yeah, she said that something was strange and that she wanted me to take a look. Couldn't think of a better way to put it and blurted out the truth. Is this a bad time? You slumped her shoulders as if defeated and he fell aside.
もうしょうが考えてみれば、空には筒抜けなんだ。ほら、そんなとこに。
Alright.
君もコーヒー飲む？
I followed you into the room. It smelled like hot coffee. In the corner of the room was an ancient siphon coffee machine, circulating up dark liquid. You offered me a chair and I sat down. She turned to the coffee maker to pour coffee. What are you up to in here? asked you this partly as I leaned back in the chair.
調べ物だよ。
Looking into something? White steam pearl. Is this something that you have to hide from everyone? I thought I came out a little too acoustic. But I was a little peeved that she was hiding something.
さあ、どうぞ。
She turned back toward me with a white cup in her each hand. She handed one to me.
暑いから気をつけてね。
Oh, thanks. A white cup, white steam. Only the liquid inside was black. Bing's logo was printed on the cup.
さてどこから話したらいいのか
No
な。
long story. You sat down next to me and took a sip of her cup. Then she gradually started talking.
私、前に言ったことあったよね。行方不明になったお父さんの手がかりを探す。私は、17年前にいなくなったお父さんの手がかり。
You said that the last place he was seen was in Laimu, right? Oh, are you investigating that?
そう。
You nodded and shifted the cup to her other hand.
お父さんについての情報よ。今から17年前、ここで大きな事故が。
Accident?
何しろ、当時のニュースを調べても、
What do you
事
mean?
故の原因。要するにマスコミも、詳しいことは知らなかったんじゃないのかな。何か大きな力で、情報が、
That's interesting.
17年前の謎に包まれた事故。17年前に、そして、これらのことから推測できることは、
You think the accident had something to do with the disappearance of your father?
そういうこと。ここには、レミには、お父さん、でも実際に働き出してみると、そんなことをそれどころか、レミのデータ、まあ、当たり前なんだけどね。
The chair squeaked as you slumped back. She just stared at the ceiling.
でもね。
Opportunity? You don't mean this accident?
そうよ。
You placed the cup next to the console.
私は、こうして事故が起きたおかげで、私は晴れて、まあ、そのおかげで、
You joked as she shrugged her shoulders. I'll ask you one more time, but did you have to keep it all secret?
そりゃね。だって、関係者とはいえ、私は何の権限も、そんな人間が、事故のどさくさに紛れて、レミューの機密事項に触れようっつうならこういうのを。
Kind of looting, maybe?
そういうこと。これは、情報窃盗、けど、隠しを押せるわけなんたって、空にはレミの、
I think she would understand your situation if you explained it to her.
どうかな。
I wonder about that. I too took a sip of coffee. It was super bitter and super thick. So, did you find anything out?
それが、ちょっと困ったこと。
Yuki Tanaka. Tap, tap, tap. Saying that, you started manipulating the keyboard. One of the monitors on the wall shifted from footage of an observation camera to an image of the computer desktop. In the middle of it, one window was open. You explained as she stared at
これはね、ネットワークに接続
authorization screen?
接続しようとしているユーザーがシステム側で許可された人間かどうかを判定する画面。
I see. I felt like I kind of got it, but not really.
私はこれからレミデータベースでもそんな重要なデータを誰それ構わず見ることができ
Okay.
だからこうしてここを覗こうとしているあなたは誰？
And then she spoke. You used the name. Inside the box were written the words Yuki Tanaka.
当然私の名前だとアクセスできるわけないからこうやだけどそんなことは誰
I suppose so.
当然これを作った人だってバカじゃないからそれを防止する本当にあなたが田中幸恵ならパスワードを言いなさい
You then used the mouse to circle around the box for password. It was still blank. And what about the password?
それを今考えてる
What? You don't know it?
わからない
So you haven't looked up anything.
調べてないっていう
So you're stuck.
これのこと
You nodded and gave a big sigh. Tap, 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 tap. After a second's pause, you was back tapping on the keyboard. There was nothing for me to do. I just sat there, watching you do her thing. The password blank filled in as she typed. Tap, 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 tap. The digits she tapped in were blocked out by an asterisk, so that anybody watching wouldn't know what the word was. Tap. You tapped the enter key. Beep. Access denied. So you immediately tapped in another line of letters. Tap, 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 tap. Tap. Beep. Access denied. Valid name or password. Tap, 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 tap. Hey, you.
何？
I was just wondering, who is Yuki Tanaka? Looking at the name, I was wondering if she a relative or something?
私のお母さんよ。
Oh. Your mom worked here?
働いてるの。現在進行形。
Hey, your mom researches archaeology, right? You said something about it yesterday.
うん。で？
You answered her, I still glued to the computer. Archaeology has nothing to do with theme parks, right?
私もそう思う。でも、予算の下りない大学の研究室よりは、レミューの方がはるかに得るもの。
Is Lema doing some kind of archaeological research?
少なくとも、やってるふりだけはしてるみたい。レムリア大陸の遺跡を調査してるらしいから。20世紀の終わり頃、沖縄の方のどっかで海底遺跡が発見されたでしょ？ライプリヒ製薬は、その遺跡こそ、レムリアが存在したことの証だ、みたいなことを、まことしやかにそれとなくルフしてるの。海底遺跡の発掘調査プロジェクトにも何を企んでんだかしら。
Your mom was involved in that project too?
詳しいことは知らないけど、でも多分、ふりをしてるだ。お金だけもらって、実際には別のことを研究。
Something else?
昨日も教えたでしょ？第三視点という昔のガイ。
Your mom sounds tricky.
悪いお母さんよ。でも、気持ちはわからん。世界中の海底遺跡を掘り下げたって、レムリア大陸の痕跡なんか、それが不毛だってことは、みんな、ライプリヒ製薬の偉い人も、なのに、研究してるふりだけ？
I wonder why. Sounds like a waste to me.
じゃあ、企業の考えることだから、お金儲けにつながるんじゃないの？あ、そんなこと私たちに知ることはできないし。
Tap, tap, tap. Oh, that's right. I've been meaning to ask you, but what do you mean that your mom is researching the third eye?
N 次元上の全体像は N プラス1次元内から俯瞰することによってのみ認識する。
Huh? It didn't sound very basic to me. What does she mean?
要するに、私たちは4次元的な視覚を得ることで、初めてこの世界の全貌が知覚できるのだ、と。
Whoa. Going into the fourth dimension stuff, which is like time, space. Whoa. I had no idea what she was talking
まるで
about.
第三の目が開眼。
Yu's hand stopped typing there for an instant. She popped her neck loudly. She reached out for a cup and took a sip of coffee. I think yesterday you said something about evolution, about losing that organ thinking on the head.
違う。そっちじゃなくて、ここで言う第三の目っていうのは、超能力、例えるなら、ヒンズー教のシバ神の額にある第三の目。仙道における密教において、弘法大師がチベット密教などで言われる。
I felt like I was being bombarded with exotic words. Conversation had completely left me behind.
昨日も言ったと思うけど、第三の目が開眼すると、真の知恵が湧き、そんなものが本当に。
So let's see, that means, in summary, it goes something like this. Your mom is researching an ancient concept called the third eye or third perspective, and once someone has acquired the third eye, they can sense the fourth dimension and see the whole of the world, and time travel me. And that is the line with the legend of the third eye.
まあ、そういうことね。お母さんに言わせれば、第三の目という概念そのものが。
I don't quite get it. Why would a sense of the fourth dimension allow someone to understand the whole world? Or why is the sense of the fourth dimension necessary? We're seeing the world the way we do now? Is that what he said? I don't get the connection between the third eye and third perspective and the fourth dimension. There were lots of things I didn't get. The whole concept seemed to be beyond my understanding.
さて
Tap, tap, tap. You started working again without answering my question. Hey, you.
悪いけど、今日の授業はここまで。ここから先を説明するのって、見ればわかるでしょ？知りたかったら、今度わかりやすく教えてあげるから。
You didn't say anything else. Okay. I decided to give up for the time being. I remember I was still holding the cup. I figured not drinking would be a waste, so I drank it down. Gulp. Yuck. This is so bitter. It was completely cold, too. about her desk and looked down dejectedly. She leaned back in the chair and it squeaked. Then she hadn't found any new clues. Actually, she hadn't even gone past the authorization screen. Access denied, valid name or password. The message had been displayed again and again, this time in the middle of the screen. He was really down, so you couldn't get it, the password? Don't you have any ideas? I mean, when somebody sets a password, it is usually what it has to do with them. Birthday or phone number for something. Even somebody that wanted to think of something nobody would know would probably come up with a phrase related to the past. I mean, there's almost nobody that uses a meaningless combination of numbers and letters. If they did, they would probably forget it. And if they forget it, then the password is meaningless.
もちろん、思いつくフレーズは一通り逆から読んだり、アナグラムにしたり、可能性のあるパターンを。でも、私はただのパソコンがハッカーやクラッカーじゃないんだから、イリーガルなプログラムを持ってる。
You stuck her hands up in the air, signaling her friend. I know, Sara could probably get it right. I remember that Sara was on the top-level hacker. You said that Sara took first prize at some code-breaking conference, right? I bet she'll make a password-breaking program.
かもね。
You didn't seem keen on my idea. Why don't you ask her?
頼みたいところだけど、迷うね。
I thought that maybe she was still concerned about the criminal element of the idea. But you don't mind getting me involved.
君の場合は、勝手に巻き込まれ
I suppose. But at this rate, you probably wouldn't find a clue during her lifetime. I wanted to help her out. It's a way of thanking her for helping me.
一つだけ手がかりはあるんだけど。
You took a piece of paper from the top of the console. What's that?
お母さんのマシンの中に。私はここに来る前、お母さんの研究室に忍び込んだことがあるの。もちろん、失踪した父親の手がかりを探すためよ。部屋に入ると、パソコンの電源が入れっぱなしだったの。中を覗くと、ご丁寧に、パスワードとタイトルの付けられたテキストで見ると、たった一行、何やら日本語のセンテンスが書き込まれていたの。
Then you saw the password?
確かに見た。でも、見ただけであって、
What?
急いでたのよ。誰かに見つかる前に、私は慌ててメモを取ろうとした。けれど、筆記用具が周辺には見当たらなかったの。記憶媒体となるようなディスクも転がってなかった。今考えてみれば、自分宛てにメールでも送ればよかったかなと。その時は、焦っていたので考えつかなかった。とっさに、プリントアウトしようと思ったんだけど、印刷が完了した直後、お母さんが戻ってきてしまったの。私はトレーにあった用紙を素早く掴むと、ポケットにねじ込んだ。
Huh? What do you mean? So the paper you have now is the one with the password on it? You held out the paper without saying anything. Huh? What's this? A barcode?
に見えるけど、普通のバーコードの規格とは違うみたいだし。
That looks strangely familiar. It's got 10 lines. What's have to do with anything?
さあ。
But how many characters were in that password? You said it was Japanese, right? But how many characters was it?
よく覚えてないけど、10も。
Was it all written in Japanese? Any numbers?
確か、漢字とひらがなの組み合わせだと。
Wonder which end of this is it.
さあ。
Well, could it be written vertically? Anyway. If you printed out a text file, where would it come out as a block?
さあ。
No hints?
ヒント？答えがわからないのに、ヒントなんか与えられるはずないでしょ。
But you have to remember something. Like, did it have to do with food or a person's name? You shook her hands.
見たって言っても、ほんの数秒のことなのよ。
How can you forget something so important?
でも私は、少なくとも電話番号も、生年月日も、それから自分、大事なことを忘れてるのは、どっちなのかしら？
I looked again at the paper we thought contained the password. I was obsessed with solving the puzzle we had found. It was frustrating. Now who was forgetting the important things? What could I say to that? It's not like I wanted to lose my memory. Watch this, I'll remember everything just to show you. First, I had to figure this out. I had my mind set on it. I almost felt like solving this was a rite of passage that would help restore my memory. Well, I don't get it, but I wonder if we press like on it. Could be 1,000%. Oh, what if I water gun? Roll the paper in a ball, but still convenient. Roll the paper in a stick-like shape. It's no good. Rolling up shows nothing.
どう？わかった。
Yep, I figured out that I can't read it this way.
やっぱり無理なんだ。私だっていろいろ。
Let's see. What should I do? Still got it! I thought that if I tilted it a little, I might be able to see something. Oh, whoa, I got it! Listen, if you take the paper and set it like this. What? Let's see. The empty fall sky, a single cuckoo calls out, brings a chill to me. What is this?
ちょっと貸して。
Oh, that's so cool. You grabbed a slip of paper from my hand. I just guessed. Then she copied me and set the paper sideways in the same way.
本当だー。すっごい。すごいよ、少年。
I feel good because I just guessed. You grabbed my arm and shook it happily. But she didn't stop there. She pulled me closer in a bear hug. Squeeze. My face was pressed hard against her bust. It was a nice fit. A little too nice. I struggled for air. I give up. Give mercy. I almost felt dangerously excited by the softness of her.
やったやった。
Finally, you let me go. She jumped around gleefully like a rabbit. I was glad she was happy, even if she did almost crush me. Watching you all happy like that seemed to wash away all my irritation and fatigue. The stress I was feeling simply faded away. It was like the winter frost melting under the spring sun.
そうか。真上から見てたからいけなかったんだ。横から見れば。なるほど。
But why do you suppose it came down on the barcode like this? Think so? It's hard to believe that would make it print like this.
いいのよ、そんなことはもう。とにかく、パスワードが分かれて。
The empty fall sky, a single cuckoo calls out, brings a chill.
多分これは、正岡式の俳句。水無月の国雨に涼し、ほどど、だから、海月の、
Wow.
よし、それじゃ、
Recharged, you face the screen triumphantly, but
海月の、
tap. What? When she still couldn't get into the sea level information. Just then,
あれ
the screen went black. What just happened?
わからないけど、認証画面、
Huh? After a moment, the screen returned to normal. You picked away the keyboard and called out authorized screen again.
何そ
Well, currently what? Let's try again. What does this mean?
れ。何度もパスワードを間違えたから、つまり、レミの方からお母さんの名前でのアクセスを。
So,
そう。しばらくの間は、諦めるしか。
you shrugged
せっ
exaggeratedly.
かく苦労して解読してくれた少年には悪い。そもそもこの句が、そのままパスワードだ。むしろ、この句自体はただのヒントで、お母さんはこの句から連想する何かをそうじゃなきゃ、マシンの中に、
I wonder why Yu's mom would choose this poem. I wonder what was hidden in the 17 syllables of this poem. There's no answer or end to my questions. Well, after that, we heard from Takeshi that repairs in the warehouse had been completed with no problems. We finally gathered again in the conference room. We were killing time. We still couldn't think of any way to escape. Still, we didn't want to feel like we were completely wasting our time, so we all decided to wander around late in Wonder's Hall. As we made the rounds, Takeshi said, "What do you think the record is for running from one end of lane to the other? I think we should try to give the chicken sandwiches a completely new flavor somehow." He made a number of stupid comments. We all, with the exception of Tsugumi, of course, listened half exasperated and half interested. We all knew, as long as we were doing something, it kept our minds off something we couldn't change. Think about how there was no way out, or remembering where we were. We timed to meet at 8 p.m. for dinner. Everyone was left to wander around freely until then. I decided to help you trying to repair the infirmary scanning machine. course, it was kind of an indirect thank you to her for looking after me when I was feeling down 2 days before.
さてと、それじゃあ、始めますか。
He plopped down on the floor with the tools and participating in the repairman. Of course, the repairs were a huge job. I was just there to help. I was getting used to handing her the tools and was getting better at predicting which tool would be used next. I thought if there were an exam for expertise in handling pliers or screws, I would pass with flying colors. But the repairs were tougher than I imagined. You grunted as she stared at the diagram. You still haven't figured it out?
うるさいよ。ちょっと黙っててくれる？ここでもないし。
She searched all over but couldn't find the cause of the problem. You said everything looked normal. In other words, there was no sign of anything broken.
もうこんちきしょ！ちっともわからへん！
Boy, angry you. All of a sudden, you lost your cool, pounded on the diagram and kicked the tool. Hey, that's not very grown up of you. You know, you could ask Sora about how to fix it later. Want to clean up for now?
すまんです。
あれ、二人ともこんなとこにいたのか。
Oh, hey, Takeshi.
倉成こそ、こんなところになんのよ。
俺は単なる野暮用だよ。目の覚める、そういうユウは少年と何やってるんだ？
見てわかんないの？
わかんねえから聞いてんの。
Takeshi, do you think you can lend us a hand?
ああ、別に構わないぜ。
Yeah. We split up and started picking up the tools strewn around the room. Screwdrivers and screws had fallen all the way to the walls.
これで全部かな。
No, there's one more right there. There was something in the corner.
よっと。
Takeshi picked up something that looked like an electric plug. No, it was an electric plug. The cable continued, disappearing under the floor. It was embedded there.
どれの電源だろうな。
And the wall was an outlet, the same as in the home. Takeshi stuck the plug into the wall. Or maybe something is missing.
なんだ、あの機械の電源だったのか。
Which means...
そういうことみたいよ。
なあ、ところでよ。
Takeshi shot a question at me and you, who were speechless.
何やってたんだっけ、お前。
Just then somebody else appeared. It was Tsugumi. But when she saw us, she clicked her tongue in an irritated way and turned to leave. The door opened again. This time it was Sara. It could have been my imagination, but she looked kind of angry about something. Sara stood her ground, blocking the exit so that Tsugumi couldn't leave.
どいて。
逃げてばかりいないで。
どきなさい。
答えてってば。
It seemed like the two of them were fighting, but I wonder why. I couldn't think of any reason for the two of them would want to fight.
そんなに大声出したら、あの3人に聞こえるわよ。
別に構わないでしょ。
おい、二人ともどうしたんだよ。
Takeshi asked us as he approached them.
それはこっちが聞きたいわね。
Tsugumi said this mixed with the sun, and then she gave Takeshi the evil eye.
あなたたち、一体何を企んでいるの？
何をって。それこそなんだよ。
どうしたの？マヨ。
He said it as if to calm Sara's nerves. She still looked pretty riled up. She was staring at Tsugumi's bed. Tsugumi? Huh? For an instant I thought that Tsugumi drew up her face of Sara.
さあ、どきなさい。
As she turned around, Tsugumi tried to push Sara out of the way. Sara resisted.
そうや。
Sara sat down as the two of them wrestled. Tsugumi said no.
やっぱりそうなんだ。
Sara crossed her arms to him.
最低。最低だ、この人でなし。
Tsugumi lifted up her right hand as if to hit Sara. Takeshi grabbed her.
おい、落ち着けって。
Sara didn't miss her chance. Slap! Sarah's open palm echoed on Tsugumi's cheek. Raging Tsugumi threw out Takeshi and stole from Sara whatever it was she was holding. She wanted to throw whatever it was she had against the wall. She stopped an instant.
やめろ。
Takeshi went to grab her arm. Tsugumi's arm went slack and something slipped to the floor. clattered loudly. Something glittered as it bounced. It looked like a pendant. Sara scooped up the pendant as if she were picking up a fragile piece of ice. Sarah's back quivered tensely. Sara looked down, dropping her head. Then she squeezed her fist around the pendant.
Mayo?
You said it softly, but Sara didn't appear to hear. Sara lifted her face. Biting her lip, she glared at Tsugumi. Both of her eyes were welling up with tears. Tsugumi stared coldly at Sara, as if looking down at her from far above. Sara withstood the glare and stared back at Tsugumi. In rage, she continued to resist silently, trying not to shed tears, not to sob. It seemed just like how to put it. It was like the emotion that was about to explode to the surface had sunk away to nothingness. The next thing I knew, Tsugumi had turned to leave the room. Sara still focused her glare on Tsugumi. I looked back and forth between the two of them. Finally, I let my eyes trail off after Tsugumi. Yu was there to help Sara, but first I wanted to find out what the fight was all about. I ran out of the infirmary and called out Tsugumi. Hey, Tsugumi! But she ignored me and headed for the corridor. What does it always turn out like this? Even if I was tired of everything, I had no choice but to chase after her. Hey, wait! She shot me a glance but did not slow her step. I said, wait! I caught up to her and grabbed her arm, trying to stop her. She shook off my hand.
触らないでって言ったでしょ
Sorry. Then Tsugumi started walking again, as if nothing had happened. Still, I continued after her without giving up. I started talking to her as I walked next to her, pleading on her face. Why are you fighting with Sara?
あなたには関係のない
Tsugumi answered without looking at me, letting me know my questions were wrong.
他人のことにいちいち首を突っ込まないで
How can this not concern me? I thought I had said enough. It really probably doesn't have anything to do with me. I don't have any right to go involving myself in people's private affairs. But still...
いえやっぱり関係あるかもしれない
What? Tsugumi strode away. I stood stunned for a moment. I soon pulled myself together and started after her again. No matter how much I called for her, Tsugumi didn't respond. At last I caught up with her again. We were at the gate for boarding the jellyfish gondola. Finally, Tsugumi pulled up there, and it didn't look as though she had stopped there with any intention of riding the gondola. But it didn't look like she was going to move elsewhere either, or even sit down for that matter. Her eyes were just trained on the half-transparent gondola which was partially visible beyond the gate. Hey. It looked like she was completely ignoring me. You don't have to respond, just listen to what I'm going to say. I won't ask you to trust us anymore, but that doesn't mean that you have to fight with anyone. We're all in the same situation here. We have to help each other. Tsugumi turned her face to me.
格式なことね
Don't joke around.
率直な感想を言ったまでよ
And I figured that I should take the fact that she responded to me as a slight change in attitude. I shot her another question. Why do you think we're your enemies? What reason could you possibly have?
言ったでしょ信用で明らかにあなたたちの行動は尋常じゃない自分の意思でそうやっているのかどうかは別として
I don't get you. What exactly is suspicious?
あの時と同じことをしようとしてるじゃないの
The same as what before?
あなたが本当に記憶喪失なら今回の事故だってきっとまた何か裏があるに決まってる
You mean to tell me you experienced the same thing as this before? Tsugumi stared at me intensely. I took her look as a yes. In that case, I wonder if the same held true for me. So that means you can foresee what is going to happen, right?
Eh?
I'm right, aren't I? So it's not just me then. But then how come I can see into the future all of a sudden? See the future. No, the feeling I had was less one of seeing it and more like knowing the future, or possible of having experienced it before. Did I know it? Had I experienced it? Why? That was because the same thing was happening again. That's it! You and I must have traveled to the past, Tsugumi.
タイムスリップ
Ooh. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Excuse me. Crap. I just spilled the milk. I'll be back. Okay, let's continue. Boom, chakalaka.
タイムスリップ
Travel to the past? I heard her clearly say time slip. So, sorry, kinda interrupted, spilled milk. So yeah. Yep. The theory I had hit upon excited me. I was sure it almost had to be. I have the same sense. I know the future. Back at the generating room, I knew that the room had built up heat. And take this morning, I had a feeling that there would be trouble in the warehouse. In the warehouse? I don't remember that. And when I first met Sara, I felt like I had experienced something like it before. I think I've probably experienced the same thing in my past. Tsugumi just stared at me. I could clearly see that she was flustered. Hey, tell me your story. When I asked Tsugumi that, it was as if she snapped back to reality, her expression and the look in her eyes back to normal.
あなたに話をあなたが奴らの仲間かもしれない以上あなたに手の内を明かす
I felt dejected, like I'd finally found someone that could share my feelings but wouldn't.
いいこと前にも言ったけどもちろんあなたやけに理由にこだわるのね
She crossed her arms and said this
でもあえて理由があるとしたら例えばあなたの記憶喪失だった
Huh? That was a shocking idea. The words just about stopped my heart for a moment. Oops. I forgot what happened. Did I even record? Oh no. Here. I don't know if I record. I don't know what I record. So we'll just go over again. Yeah, this is just talking about kid just paranoid and that, you know, mental strain that because we're in trapped mental strain everybody. And he's talking about if he repeated the past or something. He calls out for Sora, Sora's not there because stuff, and then he goes to the security office. That's basically what happens. And then Yu says not to bother Sara. Okay. I see.
空は制御
What about Takeshi?
倉成のことなんて知らないよ。去り際にお酒が飲みたいとかなんとか言ってたから。
Oh, a beer and Leimu? You shrugged as to say, who knows?
そういうそっちはどうだったの
Not good. She wouldn't listen. She just took off somewhere. Let's not say anything but Tsukumi's silly suspicions. Excuse me once more. Oh my god, what is happening? God, Nicole, this sucks. You know why? Your face, that's what sucks.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Anyway, I'm back to it. Okay. Hey, that's Takeshi.
そうみたいね。
Is that the rest area?
そうみたいね。
I don't know.
I wonder what he's doing.
そうね。
Takeshi was sitting on a bench. He had a can of beer in his hand. As you had said, it looked like he was having a drink. So there really is beer here. Thinking about it, I realized that Takeshi knew the kiosk freezers by heart now. Maybe it was something that an employee or someone had sneaked in. What I didn't understand was why there was one more beer. Or I should say that the can was opened and sitting next to Takeshi. It'll get flat if he leaves it like that. Of course, there was no one there. Takeshi lifted his can in the direction of the can next to him and muttered something. But we couldn't hear the what. I wondered if he was drunk. He looked dangerous.
何や
Tap, tap, tap. You punched some keys and switched to less unsightly scene.
さて、ちょっ
You jumped out of her chair and headed for the coffee machine. I want one too.
とあいよ。
Where's the sugar and milk?
そんなもの入れるんだ。
I can drink however I want, can't I?
まあいいけどね。
I took the sugar pot and milk bottle off from the drawer.
コーヒーは苦いからコーヒー。
You said this as she poured coffee into our
不
cups.
純物を入れたコーヒーなんて福神漬けのついたインドカレーみまあ君もいずれははいどうぞあちゅいでちゅよ
Oh, shut up. I dribbled a little milk into the cup that she gave me. I went to add sugar, but there was no spoon, so I decided to pour from the sugar pot. You know that black coffee is bad for your stomach, right?
そんなのは100も承知よ。体に悪いからって。
Besides, when you're tired, sweet things give you a surge of energy. I was in an argumentative mode. Don't laugh, Nikki. But then my hand slipped, and sugar went cascading into my cup. Oh no!
これで明日の疲れまでダブってものね。
Freaking you. Hey, I was
何
thinking.
を？
I didn't tell
だ
you?
ってあまりにもくだらないんだもん。
You said that and sipped her coffee indifferently. What I said is that I can sense the future. I decided to tell you about my theory. I really wanted to hear what she thought. I mean, yesterday in the generator room, the trouble this morning with Takeshi and when I first met Sara.
そんなのただのデジャブ。
Deja vu.
既視感とも言ってね。一度もけでもね。それは深層心理の中の要するにただのさ。
It's not... This wasn't like that. I think I've experienced the same kind of thing in the past.
結局の
I think that maybe I traveled through time. And that I came back here to the past from the future. I think it helps to explain my lost memories somehow. And that's, hard to explain, but...
君の思考回路は一体どこをどうひねくり回すとタイムスリップなんて考え方がでそれとも君、未だに天動説を信じてる派？
But right now, this...
OK。
You held her palm out at me like a traffic cop.
100歩譲って、万歩譲ってタイムスリップしたとしてもよ。
Excuse me, everybody, one more time. Okay, hopefully nobody freaking interrupts me this time. Too many interruptions for one episode. I think that maybe I traveled through time. And that I came back here to the past from the future. I think it helps to explain my lost memories somehow. And that's, hard to explain, but...
君の思考回路はどこをどうひねくり回すとタイム
Yeah, I know I read this,
それとも
but...
君、未だに天動説
I forgot to say, but right now this...
OK。100歩譲って、それと記憶を失ったことにどんなつながり全くもって意味不明だよ。いい？この世にはタイムスリップなんて論理的にも科学的にも。
I decided to drink my coffee. Ugh! It was so sweet that it made me almost want to vomit.
水が高いところから低いところに向かって流れるよ。川の流れと同じ。絶対不可逆。
But... I groaned, but I wasn't giving in without a fight. Are you sure? Water doesn't always flow down, does it?
今度は反重力物質がなんたらかんたらとか言い出すつもり？もしくは宇宙空間は真空ではなく
That's not what I meant. It's not like that. What I mean is, I looked around the room. There had to be something to convince you, like... My eyes stopped on the coffee machine. The water in the lower container was boiling, warmed up by the flame of the alcohol lamp. That water was pushed by the pressure of the steam through a pipe in the center and percolated into the pot. This is it! Look, water doesn't always flow down, see? We didn't say anything. She simply looked at the gurgling water. Hey, are you listening? You suddenly stood up shouting. Oh, ouch! You bumped my arm and spilled my coffee everywhere. It got on my arm and her coat. But you ignored it, handed her cup to me and went bursting out of the room. She shot out of there like a rocket. I quickly put the cups down and went after her. Yu was heading to the west. She climbed the emergency corridor and ran down the spiral staircase. When I finally caught up with her, I found myself in the central control room. Yu and I dashed into the room. There was Sora. She was in front of the console with both hands together. She was quiet, her eyes closed. It was like she was meditating. The LED of the computers in the room were responding and flickering. But when Sora noticed our presence, she opened her eyes and smiled.
どうしました？田中さん。脱出方法が見つかったのよ。
Is that why she did that? You shouted in between
脱
breaths.
出方法？
Really? You did? Are you alright?
大丈夫。
Oh, I get it. Because I showed her the boiling water. You put her hand on her chest as she breathed deeply, trying to catch her breath. Then,
私たちが
stupid! It's because Leimu's flooded with water.
いいから君は黙ってて。ソラ、
少年さんのおっしゃったように、それによって地上エンゼルヌルまで登ることのできる非常階段イコール脱出路が閉ざされたという。
オッケー。つまりレミューを満たしている水。
はい。しかし館内に無事の。
大丈夫よ。
You stopped Sora at that
地
point.
上の浮島には高圧送風機。
A high pressure
館
fan?
内の気圧を高めるために地上から高圧混合。
はい。おっしゃる通り。
だったらその高圧送風機を動かして内部に高圧ガスを水の中に沈めたストローに息を吹き込めば中の水は
Oh, I get it.
理論上は可能です。
でしょ。だった
そして私も最初に検討したつまり残念ながらそれは
どうして。
送風機はここからではエレベーターが動かなくなったのと同じ理由で原因は不明です。誠に残念。
You shoulder slumped dejectedly. You put my hand on Yu's back. She turned and smiled an empty smile.
適当。もう一度最初から考え。
But her words sounded empty of the spark she'd shown earlier. Only then did you finally notice the coffee stain.
何よこれ。
更衣室の隣にランドリーがありますから幸い服の着替えはあることですし。
You took an area of her coat that was stained black and held it to her nose.
佐藤
You mean it smells like coffee? That was what I wanted to say, but I just barely held my tongue. It was a new day. You said she was going to change clothes and had gone up to the second floor. Sora went back to work. Sarah, she was probably sleeping in the compression chamber. Sketchy was supposedly filthy drunk in the park rest area. Tsugumi hadn't come back, had no idea where she'd gone. Me? I was in the conference room. Whoa, it's 12 o'clock. In the middle of the table was a three-dimensional image of Lamy. I was staring at it and trying to come up with escape plans. At that point, I hadn't even hit upon a single one. Any plan would fall apart before I even got fully developed because of my limited knowledge. But I didn't intend to give up. I thought I could just find a starting point. I wanted to get back at you somehow. The door opened and somebody came in. Looking back, I saw that it was you. She had changed into a work
なん
maid.
だこんなところにいたのか。
The ribbon on her outfit shook rhythmically as she walked toward me. Are your clothes dry?
乾燥機どうせだからしばらくこっちの。ね
Hmm,
えレ
just
ひょっ
looking.
として脱出を。
Well, all I've got is time on my hands. I lied to her. Embarrassed, I couldn't tell her the truth. Enough about that. Aren't you going to sleep?
コーヒー飲みすぎちゃってね。それにいろいろ。
How about that? Same
コ
here.
ーヒーが
Both.
なんだ。
You laughed dryly as she said
さあ
that.
さあちょっと付き合ってくる。
Are you going
うん
somewhere?
考え事するのに。
Someplace in
第
mind?
三視点。
The third eye. When the third eye opens, true wisdom is apparent and all becomes visible. The power of ancients, ultimate knowledge, prove a transcendental state beyond that of normal people. The place that you led me was...
じゃあ入ろっか。
You walked toward a stone gate which rose out of a dimly lit dome. Can I ask you a question before we go in? Why do the Lemurian ruins have something to do with the third eye?
ああそのことね。あれね。嘘。
What?
本当は関係な意味な。ただそういえば少年はつい一人でぐじぐじ考えるのって性に合わない。怒った？
No, not really. I was just thinking that you don't seem the type to be governed by random illogical thoughts.
そうかな。
Yeah.
でも本当は
You turned her gaze to the
お母さ
ruins.
んがレムリア大陸を調査するふり。そのお母さんにとってなんでかわかる？
Because she was conducting research in the name of Lemuria.
そう。だからお母さんは 話をでっち上げることにしたの。
One theory has it that the people of Lemuria were giant apes that were 12 feet tall. They had walnut-colored skin. There were no differences between males and females. They laid eggs and communicated via telepathy. And they had a third eye in the back of their head. Telepathy in the third eye. This has something to do with third perspective. Drawing on the idea that our vertebrae predecessor had 3 eyes, so the ancients, especially the Lemurians, may well have been races that mastered the use of this power. And based on the facts discovered, I conclude...
第三視点のルーツは、もっともらしい論文まで書いてね。本当は、何にも関係なんてな。
I wish you'd tell me more about the third eye.
ごめん。それはまた今そういう話をする。
You and I crossed through the gate and entered the ruins. It was darker inside, and the pathways were interwoven like a maze. The lighting was surreal, with dim lights everywhere. Occasionally, a hologram of some deep-water fish would shine into view. The ruins were also slightly flooded with water, which had the effect of making them appear more like ruins at the bottom of the ocean. I wonder how far we had walked. Finally, we came to an open space kind of like an auditorium. The room had a high ceiling. There were rock pillars called obelisks scattered around the area. A few of them were broken, collapsed or crumbled. Looking closely, I saw that a marked relief was carved into the wall. As I absentmindedly stared at the wall, you walked over to one of the collapsed obelisks, sat down, hugging your knees.
この辺のエリアはね、太陽の
Sun? That reminded me that I had seen the image of a sun disk in relief on the
レ
wall.
ムリア大陸の正確な所在地については諸説あり、はっきりとしたことはですが、赤道直下の熱帯雨林地帯に存在したわ。
You reverted to speaking like an employee, which she was, and started giving me an explanation of it.
そんなところから、私どもレミューの研究スタッフは、レム
You paused and
隠
shrugged.
して、こんな神殿を作ってみた。
I see. As I sat down next to you and
海
now,
の底に沈んでるってのに、太陽なんて、皮肉にしか
I wonder if she was talking about God, or maybe she had meant us.
君は、何か思う
What do you
脱
mean?
出方法
Oh, I shook my head.
そう。はあ、もう高圧力送風機さえ動けば。ねえ、私たち、誰かに騙されてるんじゃない？
Huh? What are you talking about?
あなたはきっと、利用されてるのよ、奴らに。
Tsugumi's words flashed in my
つ
mind.
まり、今回の出来事は、ただの事故じゃなかったってこと。誰かが意図的に、私たちのこと。だって、そうとしか考え、不自然なことがあまりにも多すぎ、マヨの友達や、クラナリの友達や、私の、なのにどうして誰も来ないの？何らかの理由で中に入ってこれないとしても、ダイバーが窓ガラスを叩く、それに、電力は生きてるのに、通信回線だけ遮断、事故の前の警報も、停電も原因、高圧力送風機が動かない理由だって分かってない。まるで、私たちを閉じ込めるために。
I didn't know what to say to her. It all made sense to me. Actually, I had been feeling the same thing. The reason that I hadn't been able to, or didn't realize it, was maybe that I didn't want to face up to reality. I sneaked a look at Yu's face. She clutched her knees and turned her helpless-looking gaze to the water's surface. Her lips were a bluish color, and it wasn't all the fault of the light. Yu was always more upbeat than everyone around her. She was a powerful presence for me. But right then, she seemed very small and fragile. No matter how tough she acted, Yu was still just a girl at heart. Now it's been a quick 3 days since the accident. It only made sense that she would be feeling the strain. Swallowed into the deep, dark ocean, we had lost the warm spring sun. I couldn't let her go on like this. I had to cheer her up somehow. That was how I felt deep in my heart.
ねえ、私たち少年は、この先どうなるのか。
I think we'll be saved.
それは予知？それとも、
Of course, it's I wanted to say premonition, but I couldn't. Saying it was wouldn't work? What? You could see through a lot. I thought about it. The third perspective, the third eye, true wisdom. Omnipotent, all-seeing vision. Bound to make light shine once again. I thought if I only had that. But it didn't exist. It couldn't possibly. It's not a premonition or a guess. At the very least. It's a
約
promise.
束
Yeah, I promise. At least I hoped it was. That was a promise that would materialize. That we would be able to get you out of there. I held up my hand as if taking an oath. I approached you, but then she
も
spoke.
し、約束破ったら
I won't. I'll see that you're safe.
絶対に 1% たりともない。
There is not even a 0.00001% possibility. I pointed my finger at my heart and promised you.
こんな自信過剰な約束。
I crossed my heart and hoped to die.
仕方ない。付き合っ
And stick a needle in my eye won't break my word to you. May 4th, Thursday. The next day after breakfast, 1, 2, 3, that's 3 more days and then I apparently died. The next day after breakfast, you and I went to the security office. She tried to access the computer net with you. I planned to stay and see through it, but tap tap tap. Beep. Access denied, invalid username and password. I'll stop here actually. Yeah, I'll stop here. Well, that was fun, I guess. Thank you everybody. Got my password and I'm out. Boom.